Welcome to the Freud's Angels weekly reading, bringing the collective guidance and understanding for this week's energy.
Remember, never give your power up to a reader or a reading. You always have the power of autonomy. Hey, angels, welcome to your weekly reading. We're reading from August 10th through the 16th. Take a breath, guys. Tomorrow, Mercury goes direct.
I know that we're recording this ahead of time, but even just hearing that was like, I can't wait. I'm gonna throw a party. I'm gonna have a cake.
Yes, I swear to God. Yes, we have 2 weeks of post shadow, but just getting that bitch direct is just tell you what, oh my God. Yeah, it's a
I just
lot.
want to stop sending text messages, if nothing else. Jesus. Worse. I mean, this used to be a problem when I was drinking a lot, and now I'm like, it's completely sober. You just have urges. I'm gonna tell them what exactly is happening right now. No, I don't want to hear it.
Oh gosh, it has been a doozy. We still have other retrograde planets. Chiron went retrograde, and that's an interesting one. For me, I feel it's pointed because I focused on it and I was like, oh, I need to figure out where my Chiron is because that makes a lot of sense in things that are going to come up. And I am here for that. What are the mermaids saying, Vanessa?
It's funny that you said that about Chiron because I use the pattern app, and I was like, oh yeah, there was definitely something that they said about that with me. I mean, it's been really odd how it's not odd. It's never odd when this stuff makes sense, but it has been incredibly accurate about everything, including, I had added so on the pattern app, you can add like a partner, and I had added, I mean, whatever, we're loosely using the word partner, because we're very mad right now. But at the time, and I mean, when I say spot on, I am like, oh my God, are you reading the text messages on my phone app? Because there's no way that you could be this pointed. Right. It is like, here's exactly what's happening. So yeah, all that to say, I'm pretty sure that there was something in there about Chiron and I didn't read it because I'm not in a good place. Yeah. But anyway, so the mermaids brought out the future card again. We just had the future card not long ago, and it came out again today. And today when I looked at it, I was a little bit jaded. That's not, I mean, I'm just jaded. I'm jaded right now, guys. I've been trying to just be like, open up the channel and what does it have to say? And it's like, I'm just got this burning energy of my own it's having a hard time sifting through. But when I looked at it this time, I thought about how getting stuck in today, and what's going on today can sometimes direct our future, even if it's tomorrow as the future. And so that's an important thing to think about when we're doing the things like that, right? Is how are we part of our co-creation of the future is like what I was feeling when I was looking at this. And I know, the last time that we did a reading, I felt something different when this card came out, and the visuals helped. But to me now, seeing she's got the bubble right in front of her face, to me that is talking about how are you directing your future, or how are you influencing your future? You can't direct it, but with your stuff today, and not to gaslight yourself, right? Because I mean, Grace has been very, very good at telling me this over and over again today in our pregame. Don't gaslight yourself. You're allowed to feel these feelings. You're allowed to move through these things. You're allowed to be disappointed and feel betrayed and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like that's the part of it, right? Is being able to say, yes, these things are here, and yes, these things are happening. And it's like my new little post-it note that I have. Everybody knows I have to have my little notes everywhere to remind me of shit. And this one says, who's in charge right now? And there's check boxes for the saboteur and for the alchemist. And I feel that hard right now when I look at this, of being like, okay, the alchemist doesn't always have to be mixing up the stuff, but there's observing the stuff and decoding the stuff and looking at the stuff and feeling the stuff, like that. And that's how you influence your future in the way that you want your future to be, is by doing that, instead of bypassing right now or sitting in right now in a way that doesn't feel alchemical.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where I'm feeling it right now. And I mean, personally, I'm like so detached from the future because I feel like uh everything I thought was going on in the future, I can't see it anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to see that as a blessing. I'm trying to see that as like, well, yeah, of course, because you have changed courses. Your sales have, changed, and you're going in a different direction, and you have to trust that that is a good thing, that these things are here for the alchemy to bring you your greatest good. So let's think about that. Let's sit in that also, right? Like simultaneously. We talked about in the last reading that we can have simultaneous feelings. I can simultaneously be super angsty about everything that's happening and also be sitting with it and saying, well, this is going to create a future for me that's good for me. And so how do I want to be influential on that?
Yeah.
How can I be influential on that? What can I do right this second, even if it's just breathing, that helps me know, like, you're on the right track. You are in a good place. Your future is good because it's never not been good. Even though, yes, you're sitting in a place right now where you're like, Jesus Christ, again, we're in situations like this. It's not an again. It's not the same as it was before, which means that influentially back then, that person that you were did something to influence your future today that has better things in it. It truly does. Because the last time you went through relationship fuckery, you didn't feel like you lived in a great place, and you didn't feel like you had support around you, and you didn't feel like you could just reach out and go do some things that helped you feel like a good distraction. So yeah, some things have changed from that point. And so let's sit with that today as try not to light everything on fire, because that this will create things for your future that are better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was I don't even know. I'll have to listen to it and see if it makes sense.
Stream of consciousness. That's
Stream
all.
of consciousness. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what you're getting. You're getting
Yeah.
a Bashar
Yeah.
moment.
Yes. But the alchemy is also turning the rage and the anger, if there is any, into whatever it is to not so much act on it, but create a space to physically, like, just because rage and anger just needs to be generally felt and pushed out. Like, I envy the people that go to these smash rooms that they go in and they have all this stuff and they take baseball bats and sledgehammers and they create destruction. Sometimes it's cathartic.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't like breaking stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very weird. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I do envy them too, because I feel like that's an outlet that they can use.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah. Fascinating.
So what are we surrendering? What kind of
I don't like this card
how much
anymore
do I
than I
hate
like
your card?
Yeah. So we're surrendering resentments.
No, we're not.
I'm sorry. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. I feel that last sentence is a little gaslighty. It's not to say resentment, we don't need to polarize emotions, okay? We don't need to say emotion is good or bad, or you shouldn't do it or you shouldn't do it. It's the longevity you sit with them. It's how your relationship is to the emotion. You can feel resentful. Resentful isn't bad to feel. It is normal to feel resentful. It's how you take the energy of resentment and how you either weave it into your life and it becomes bitterness, or do you take that resentment and being like, using it as the fuel to do what you need to do to understand your part and to heal the things that created the part in the situation. When we have, you talk about future, and it's not just about actions, it's about energy. And so whenever we think about how we're reacting to a situation, and it's not to say any reaction is wrong or right, but it's to say, is what I'm doing projecting how I feel out into the world helping me, or is it going to add to my karma? Is it going to add to my debt? Right. And if it does, and sometimes you do need to just react because it's warranted. It's what you feel, it's warranted. And when you get into the situation of resentment, and because I have a lot, I have felt a lot of resentment in my lifetime, and especially towards my parents. It's not about forgiving the other person. It's I struggle with forgiveness. It's not that I don't want to forgive people, but it's really hard to live the result of their neglect and to be forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I have understanding, I have acceptance. I ride those. But that's what helps me find the neutral in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand forgiveness for some people is key. I'm not in that camp. I think if I use the word forgiveness, it's towards myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's forgiving the part of me that still wants relationship. It's forgiving the part of me that still wants to love the people that abused us. It's forgiving me for still wanting and needing to have them in my life because of some desire to have a certain relationship with them. I need to forgive that part, not them, but me, because that keeps me tied to them, right? Just setting a boundary with my mother, it was like there was a part that was like so sad and grieving because everything she did, every responsibility she took on, all the things she helped with, she did that to create the relationship she desired from her, and she was never going to get it. And sure enough, evidence came as soon as the boundary went up, and it started to, the entitlement, the non-gratitude, the expectation of her like
Mm-hmm.
showed up, and it was very hard. And so another part of me was really resentful. It's like, see,
Yeah.
you do this, and what do you get from it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I think resentment comes in, and if we understand the expectation we had in the situation, which is fair regardless of what it was, but it's just kind of giving ourselves that permission to be like, yeah, I resent this person because they did X, Y, or Z, or that they said that they would do this and then they didn't do it, or whatever that is. Resentment for me is a very, it's ironic that I'm going to say this because I just looked down at this card. It's a very umbrella emotion because I think
Mm-hmm.
it contains a lot of other things: hurt, betrayal,
Mm-hmm.
like abuse, like whatever you feel. And it's funny, if you look at this card, I'll show you this card. Vanessa has an umbrella
Oh,
on
it's
it.
got an umbrella.
I was like,
Mm.
yeah, one of those moments.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I would say, it becomes poisonous when you don't spend time with it and hear it
Yeah.
out and give it its space and give it its validation of, yeah, they didn't take care of you like they needed to because they're your parent or whatever situation you're in. They didn't fulfill their promise. They didn't come to you um, with clarity or whatever it is that they wanted, or kindness, or they didn't come to you with affection or love that that you needed in that moment. They came to you with this sense of just, you didn't matter, and all that mattered was their own shit. And that's whatever situation it is. It's not, it can be many, but it's coming to that with that sense of like, yep, I am okay to feel resentment. It's how it's where you put it. Does
Yeah.
it become you? Does it come to your identity? Or is it a moment where you felt that and understood it, validated it, and now we're just moving forward with it without reacting from it, if
Yeah,
that makes
because
sense?
we get our information from our emotions, and none of them are wasted. And like resentment tells us a story, right? Just like everything else, where resentment tells us, hey, I expected something, or I wanted something, or I was promised something and I didn't get it, right? Or I got the opposite of it, or I didn't get enough of it, or whatever that whole thing is. But it's still there to tell you that there was something that you wanted that you didn't get. And so you get to, explore that of like, why did I want it? Why is it so important to me? What is, just going through all of that stuff, because when you truly know where you're manifesting from or what you're asking for from people and why, it is a little bit easier to figure out your patterns and how to not be in that space anymore. You're right. Like that's how it is. And I feel like when I hear a resentment, or when you put that card out there, I laughed and I was like, huh. And I was like, do I even resent anybody? Really, really resent anybody? I was like, no, because I do the opposite thing way too much. I'm overly compassionate. And that's why things keep happening, right? Like, is because I reject resentment as valid, right? Like, I'm like, that is so bad. Resentments are so bad. You're not allowed to be resentful. And so I don't actually learn from it. And that perpetrates my cycles, right? Like, because,
Well,
yeah, like I'm sitting in it now going, there are reasons for me to maybe possibly have resentments, but I understand so many things. And I go immediately into that space of going, well, why would somebody do something like that? Right. Like
yeah,
more than how dare you. And I do need a little bit more how dare you in my life, because I realize how much happens because I don't. But I think when these two cards together actually are beautiful, because it is part of that alchemy of the future,
yeah,
of saying like, listen, if we're resentful of ourselves, of our lives, of our patterns, of our circumstances, of the people we've brought into our lives, then it's going to be really hard to kind of make the magic for the future. We're going to carry that with us, and we're going to carry that with us, manifestation wise too, because we are not moving through it. We're holding on to it in one way or another. So I do like those two cards together, and I do feel like, it's important for us all to remember that kind of stuff. And especially with the forgiveness, right? Like the opposite of resentment isn't forgiveness, and I just want people to really remember that.
yeah, yep, yes, true story.
Yeah, I finally said something that made sense.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's hitting something somewhere, and it's all the people are hearing it, and so it's going to hit somebody like, I feel that way too. Yeah, it's giving
Hopefully,
them
it might just be me.
no, no girl, no girl, no. And I think too, though, is it's funny you talk about the how dare you. Um, and I'm not saying everybody needs to do this in order to reach that how dare you, but in IFS and in trauma therapy, we access our core self, which is the self, the compassion. It's the understanding, the love, the compassion for the self, not for others, but for the self. And I think in working with some of my parts and experiencing their trauma and their pain and their burdens, there's parts that have become so protective of me and those parts. And so now when something happens to me while I'm reacting, I'm upset, like I bawled in my car after a doctor's appointment, like I have the reaction. But then there's that switch that happens for me that at some point there are other parts and I get to that point with how dare you, right? And it's a sense of, I don't know, it's a sense of worth, but it's a sense of protection. Like I've been given the trust of all these parts to protect myself. And
Mhm.
so in those spaces, that's where that sense of like, oh my gosh, no, like this isn't acceptable. I do not accept this. And however that plays out. Now, I'm still feeling what I'm feeling because obviously it's hard not to feel the reaction to whatever's activated, but I don't know. I really find that the more we can access that energy for us, the energy of that self compassion, the self understanding, and the softness, not even softness, but the grace, the
Mhm.
awareness and the grace for the experience and the versions of us that experience different things. It's that's when we get into that space of not needing the protectors that we have in IFS, like our brain and our whatevers. It's being self-protecting. And that I think for me is when shit shifted from it. it has to be my fault. I'm the horrible person. Like it's all about, I deserved it. I created it. I did this rather than seeing it from a very neutral standpoint. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it doesn't start or happen, but it's
Learning that.
yeah,
'Cause I still have this illusion that I control everything, I guess.
girl. It's all made up. It's all illusion.
Right? If I had done something different, then they would have done something different. Like,
No.
really? Really? You really
Yeah.
think that that's true?
I don't know. You could not have bent over backwards even more to make that be okay.
Legitimately. Like, it was gonna happen, girl. It didn't
Yeah.
matter because that's how you felt, that's how they felt, and that's just what was gonna happen. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Here we are anyway.
Yes. So our money card. It is safe for me to succeed in my goals.
Mm,
Yes. Safe. Meaning your nervous system doesn't need to react like there's a tiger once you start having success.
I love
And
that.
one thing I learned this week, actually talking about success, that gave me pause was I heard that somebody say somewhere, it just hit different. It said, it's not that you're afraid to succeed, you're afraid of the responsibility that comes with success.
1,000%. The maintenance of it.
Yeah,
Mhm,
like that it's going to become overwhelming. You already are
mhm.
limited resources internally. Like you're struggling already with to do the things that you need to do to create the business, and then all of a sudden you succeed, and it feels like there's just this layer of responsibility that shows up, and your nervous system is like, I don't fucking want that.
Yeah. But
And
you get used
so,
to it because when you said that, I remember hearing that when I was first starting out and being like, that was super true. Like I was overwhelmed with having to deal with my schedule and having to deal with billing and wondering how I was going to get clients and all that stuff. And so it would paralyze me and I wouldn't really do anything because it
yeah,
was just like, oh God, that's so much. And now that I've been doing it for so long, it's very easy for me. Like to me, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but new things, right? Like starting the co-op and being like, oh God, that's a lot of responsibility on you. I can see how I'm dragging my feet again because it's unfamiliar territory that I feel like, God, if you start this, there's going to be a ton of people now like depending on you to keep going. And it's like, oh God, like, can I handle that pressure? And I mean, obviously, like, can you look at your past history?
yeah,
But
yes,
yeah, 100%. That's totally it. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense when we say it out loud because we're like, oh my God, I'm confident. I know what I'm doing. But you have to fact check your own actions. Like,
yeah.
really? Then why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, I'm confident in doing the things that I want to do in my business, but not really confident on the admin side of my
Yeah.
business and the
Like it has to be
maintenance of it.
super safe. I can do the safest stuff. Like I'm confident. Like, come on, man. Yeah.
And I think that that's a big reason why I haven't really pushed the boat out on a lot of things that I do and really been active and like open about some of the things I do because I'm like, I'm already stressed out about it before I've even succeeded. And how does my body think I'm going to feel when I have like tons of clients? Like
Yeah.
they're going to be like,
Excited. It's gonna be fucking awesome, actually.
how, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, shit, you got to do more work. You got to get more clients.
No,
Like, oh my God.
I mean,
Yeah.
now it's super easy. It was a very long road, but now it's super easy. I mean, I like that part of my life. I never stress about it. I'm just like, oh, when somebody cancels, either I'm gonna need that room for something, or somebody else will book. And it always happens. It never doesn't happen. If a client drops off because they're done, then another one comes in. It just keeps happening. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's because I believe in it now and I just expect it. And so it happens. But
Yeah.
I didn't always do that. I was stressed. It felt like my responsibility
Yeah.
when it's really not my responsibility. It's really just, my alchemy and my co-creation feeling strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah. Friends, celebrate, relax, take a breath. Mercury has gone direct this week. And
Yeehaw.
just take a moment while it's in its post shadow and breathe and really look, what did I experience over the last 3.5, 3 weeks? What what themes showed up and what information did I gather? And where do I still need to take further actions? And in resulting from this review, this reflection, this whatever was happening, because that's how we move forward. That's how we don't need to be ruled by the stars, but it's how we take what is happening and make it work for us, right?
Mm.
It's not allowing the energy to constantly affect us, even though it's hard during this retrograde was hard. I just felt like I was like a plastic bag in the wind. Like I didn't feel like I was
This is one of
grounded
the
at all.
worst. One of the
It,
worst ever.
it was so hard.
Whew.
But
The best ever, because obviously what comes out of it's going to be pretty good.
sure, it will be eventually, but it's just taking all of that data and all of that information and going forward with it and understanding like just what you want from it. How do you use what you've learned to perpetuate and your love, your life, your enjoyment, whatever it is you want to create into the world? How do you do that? How do you take that? And that's the next question is, I've learned all this happened. Now I need to understand how it is going forward. Yeah. And if you need help with that, you know where to find us. We love you and we hope you have a good week.
We love you. Thanks for listening.
We hope we gave you something to support your journey.
Check out our Facebook or Instagram page to connect with us.
Have a great week.